Hey everyone, thank you for listening to another episode of Spoiler Force Podcast. You can find all episodes on any podcasting platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and watch episodes on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure to follow Spoiler Force on all social media platforms at Spoiler Force Podcast.
This is Ann Yatko, and you're listening to Spoiler Force Podcast.
All right, so this is episode 113 of Spoiler Force Podcast. My name is Ricky, and thank you for tuning in. So this week's topics is the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero movie review with my cousin Michael, and also the Nishi Fest experience that we went to yesterday on Saturday, March 19th. So by the time this episode drops, it'll be almost a week. I'm going to try my best to get this out by Thursday. If not, then hopefully and sometime before that, if it's not after that, it'll be like almost another week. So I'm gonna try my best to be consistent here with these episodes dropping more on a weekly basis. I just don't have a consistent like day or time. But aside from that, we're just gonna jump right into it, man, because we have two huge topics to talk about on this episode. We were gonna have a third guest, but sadly Phil wasn't able to watch the JJK movie, so I was really looking forward to that, but it's okay.
I've been on him all week about it, man.
There's always more episodes, but yeah, man, let's just jump right into it. The Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, the movie. This is the first JJK movie that hit theaters. It's done by Studio Mappa. It is pretty much a prequel to the season 1 show, so you don't really have to watch the show to like the movie, but the show really helps to know who the characters are, aside from the main character Yuta. So just a quick like premise of what this movie is. It's pretty much just Yuta Okotsu. He's another special grade sorcerer who has like this huge demon following him and protecting him, and it's an issue in the jujutsu sorcery community. And so what they plan to do is that if he can't control this, I guess from what we've watched, we've only watched it once. So from what if he can't control his powers, they'll pretty much kill him. There's lots of fan favorite characters in here like Gojo, Maki, Panda, Inumaki, and so on. We'll get to the more other characters later on in a couple of minutes here. But Michael, what was your thoughts on this movie, man? We watched it on Thursday, or this past Thursday in theaters. What was your overall take on this?
Man, honestly, it's you love the series so much. Just the way that it builds up and the world that it builds to with the jujutsu sorcerers and the curses, and you learn about the hierarchy and all that. Pretty much I was kind of going in with the mixed bag. Like, I know you've read the manga, so you might have had some kind of idea of more of the overarching premise of the world itself, and how it works. So to me, it was really, I went in kind of just with an open mind because I had no idea who Yuta was. I from pictures and with it being like in the early days of the teasers and the trailers and everything, I was like, I saw him using weapons. So I honestly thought it was like a young Fushiguro.
Yeah.
Maybe I was the only one. I hope not.
I'm really. I before I read the manga, I thought that he was like related to his clan or something.
Right. Yeah. But when I learned that it wasn't, that's when I learned, okay, well, maybe I really do need to just drop any of the expectations and just, kind of go in with an open mind and take it for what it is. And I'm glad I did because, it doesn't, you don't really have to have knowledge of the actual season 1 in order to understand this movie, because they do a pretty good job in explaining a lot of the things going on. But, it was a great experience. A lot of emotions, a lot of amazing animation that I just man, my eyes were about to fall out from how good the animation was.
Dude, I like when we were like like when we were still on the break, I was actually rewatching the quick fight scene of Geto and Yuta
Oh
on
man,
YouTube.
jeez,
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so clean.
jeez. I mean, I told you this before, and I won't shut up about it because like just the way they animated it, like just this, what's the term I'm looking for, the frames that they use, like you can see them actually like just art the way they articulated all their motions, and just it was so well choreographed, so well like designed. Oh man, so much fan service, but all in all, it was a great movie. I'll rank it pretty high. But but yeah.
Yeah, overall, I really liked this movie. I know that there's a manga counterpart that was out. I could be wrong about this factor. I don't want to again spew any false information or mis like mis what's the word, right word. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But from what I know is that this was a manga on its own, and apparently Yuta was supposed to be the original protagonist. I don't know if that's true or not. But
Mhm.
I honestly, I really did like Yuta's character more than Yuji's. To be honest, I really liked his story more. Um, but just seeing how Yuta's struggle from like the beginning of this movie up until his determination at the end, I really liked. It was honestly, it was really quick to see how fast they made his character like change and
Yeah.
grow up. It was very fast paced, but with shonen anime like this, it's all about the fight scenes. It's all about the intensity of the heroes versus the villains. But I really like that, this movie touched up on new characters instead of the trio that we have with Yuji, Nobara, and Fushiguro. And just speaking of Nobara, I wanted to show this. If Anyatko ever watches this, I got Nobara right here, my little ninja right here. Had to buy it at Nishi Fest. But I bought that at the Good Smile booth. But yeah, back to the movie. I
Mhm.
really liked that Gojo was in here, but then he didn't like overshadow the
Right,
main
yeah.
character, and then they gave more screen time to Maki, Panda, and Inumaki too. So like,
And honestly, that's one of the things I loved so much is just like kind of like we kind of know a little bit of Maki, Toge, and Panda, but we don't really like know too much about the character. I mean, for at least for Maki, we do. We get that kind of like flashback to a little bit of her past and her clan, and with her sister. But Toge, I actually like. You kind of see his character more, like it's and that's those scenes where Yuta finally realizes, he finally understands that Toge is like looking out for him.
yeah,
He actually cares about him, and he doesn't want him to get hurt, even though he only speaks in onigiri terms.
salmon,
Uh,
The
Salmon,
flakes,
it's
bonito
the
flakes.
bonito flakes and the eggs.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that oh man, that fight scene was actually really good. And you really get to see just how powerful his curse ability is, you know. I think probably the biggest his biggest ability in the season 1 isn't it when he just like
it's when they
blasts
fight
away
the demon.
Hanami?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that they fight during the school tournament.
Yeah, Hanami. I
Yeah.
mean, it's powerful then, but I think he just did, if I'm hoping I'm not wrong, but I think he just did like a blast away kind of like ability and just like blew him away. But then when he like with all the fish, he pretty much made them all explode.
Oh,
And
in
then
the movie.
yeah, in the movie. So
Yeah.
from the season 1, uh, compared to the movie, you actually get to see a little bit more just how strong his abilities are and the toll that it takes on him too.
Yeah.
Um,
He had to go get
so
like the throat medicine
yeah, the
before he
throat
fought the
spray.
demons. Yeah, but
I,
then his fight scene though against that semi special grade or
right,
first
yeah,
grade demon, that was intense as hell too. Because
it was.
because Inumaki is like the only one who can technically beat it.
Mhm.
But then when he dropped the medicine, that's like you brought up like how he was willing to die to protect Yuta.
Yeah, yeah. But honestly, that's actually when that was Yuta's first like the first time he actually stepped up to fight the curse too, because that was
Yeah.
after his like kind of like mini training arc. So that I love that too, because he went out fearlessly, and he yeah, he fought, and you kind of see that it's gonna happen, that he's just eventually, at least for me, I knew he was gonna eventually grab the throat medicine and throw it to Inumaki. Man, that was a great scene. But overall, I love how they have more development. And of course
Dude,
they
like even Panda, dude, like I feel like Panda doesn't get enough love in this show. Like you get to see his powers, but then in this movie kind of showed more of
Mhm.
his character. Like he's kind of like the big brother of the group.
Right.
And even like when they first meet Yuta, like Maki is very like tsundere towards him.
I was gonna get there, like to Maki. Like I like her a lot more now.
Dude, I've been telling you this since I've been reading the manga. Maki is the waifu, dude. I place her over Nobara. Her character is insane in the manga, but like
Mhm.
even in the movie, man, I love how she, you kind of see more, like she's not as open in the movie compared to season one.
Right.
She still has like that beef with her clan, and she's really not secluded, but she doesn't open up. And
Mhm.
then like again with Panda, he tells Yuta, like, you just gotta keep like pushing and keep improving around her, and she'll end up like liking you. And then the whole comment of like, do you like big boobs or
Yeah,
small boobs?
that's why I was smiling, because I'm just like, oh, that was so good.
He's like, oh,
Um,
Maki, you have a chance,
you have a chance. Uh, but yeah, you can definitely see Maki, like kind of like she's still. I mean, it's like again, I'm not sure of exactly of the. I think you mentioned it before, the time difference between these events and season one, but even in whatever the difference is, you can kind of see a bit of a difference in her, like her maturity. Like
Mhm.
she's definitely a little more hot headed in the movie, where in season one, if I recall correctly, she's a little more level headed, and she's a little more like slightly more mature. Maybe I am not remembering
There's like a
correctly.
little bit of that. Like, she's not as rash in
Right.
season one. Like she's pretty like you said, level headed. She knows, she has like, what I like about Maki is like she has a lot of belief in her abilities. Even
Right.
if she doesn't have curse energy, like she relies on the tools that she has, and she knows what she's good at.
Mhm.
And like you see that in her training with Yuta. Or no, you missed that part where she's training with Yuta.
Man, I had too much Diet Coke,
Yeah.
man. It was just I had to go use the restroom, and apparently I missed a really good scene.
Yeah.
Then
Or a good moment.
a good eye candy, I guess.
Yeah, a good fan service shot right there. But yeah, just going back to Utah, man, I really like Utah's story, dude. Like in the beginning, they showed like how they were like the writers kind of give you an idea of what you think is haunting Utah.
Mhm.
Because then even in the trailers and stuff, they kind of tease that like the ghost or the curse Rika,
Mhm.
she's like around Yuta, and it's something that he can't control. But then at the end, or like throughout this movie, you kind of learn the truth, or the from what Gojo says, the twisted truth, you know,
Yeah.
that of what Yuta has done. And I really enjoyed that uh they give you a more like sympathetic feel towards Rika, and
Yeah.
the relationship between her and Yuta, because there's flashbacks of them like being kids, and like you kind of see their bond that they have.
That
And
gutted me. It gutted me
and
so
yeah,
much,
dude,
man.
like the ring that they had, like Rika dies in the movie. And you'd think that because of the ring or the promise that they made, like she's following him. And then later
Right.
on, when Gojo kind of like
Reveals that.
investigates, yeah, and he comes up with that theory, like dude, love is the most. I love this quote that Gojo said. In the mangas, it's translated a little bit differently, but I think the quote go. I'm paraphrasing, but the quote's like, love is the most twisted curse of all.
Right,
And
but I think he means that in a way that it's also like this, like a stronger curse, right? Like it has
yeah,
more strength.
like it's both good and it's bad. And what
Mhm.
Gojo does is trying to train Yuta to use his powers in a way to where he can control it versus not being able to control it.
Right.
Because in the beginning of the movie, he injures, or I think they said he injures, but it looks like he killed those kids. But
Yeah. I mean, because
uh, Ri-
you go with throughout most of the movie thinking that he's not he's just he's not really a cursed user. That he might just be like a normal person, but it's the curse. It's Rika who's actually doing all these things, and it's revealed later that like he's actually the curses are his powers. It's
yeah,
not really
he's
Rika.
enabling Rico
Yeah.
to attack and to protect
Hmm.
him. I do like the when they introduce Yuta to the Jujutsu high school, and like
Hmm.
he's in that same room that Yuji was in, and it's kind of like the same predicament where Gojo's like, if you do something wrong, we're both gonna get killed. like you're gonna die or I'm gonna die, and I hope you don't fuck up so that I don't get killed.
Oh my god, yeah, those Gojo scenes and like seeing his like the comedic nature of his character it's hilarious. Like he said, what he reveals like at the very end, like if you die, we all die, kind of thing.
Yeah.
To Yuta, and he's like, you wait till the very end to say that, like, so good.
I like Gojo in this one too though, but like I love his prequel look. I honestly
Mhm,
I would prefer the white bandages over his eyes than the black um like blindfold.
mhm.
I just think that the white bandages has a better aesthetic. But man, dude, I even in the opening scene where Yuta's walking through the school, the music was so good, like the soundtrack
Bro,
was so good.
the
Like it
music it's some like class A bangers like in that movie, man. It's so good. Like I wanted to like geek out because you're sitting next to me. I wanted to like geek out to you so hard, but like I don't want to like distract us from the movie because
dude,
it's so
our
good.
crowd was whack as hell, man. Dude, I was like, I thought that I was cheering like when Gojo first came on screen. I was like, yeah, Gojo, and like there was a couple chuckles here and there, but no one said anything. Like no one's cheering in this theater. Like back in Michigan, dude. Like if I said some shit like that, we'd all be cheering. And even during the fan service scenes, we'd all go crazy in the theater. But our audience on Thursday was terrible.
I
And
think the only reaction that they had was the same one that we had was when
the
when
Nami
you
and
well that and dude oh my god, I was like geeking out so hard when you see Nanami come and you see his weapon on his back.
yeah.
I was like fucking yes. But no, the crowd actually reacted a lot when it's kind of controversial a little, but when Yuta kissed Rika,
Oh yeah.
everyone
Like
everyone was like whoa, what?
what the
Like
fuck?
I legit audibly said like what the
Like,
yeah.
ugh. Like it wasn't a good reaction. We were all just like, oh,
Yeah.
like in
It's like
disgust.
I was like, really?
Like, yo,
But
this is a whole new level
it's
of romance
awkward.
right
It's awkward, yeah.
here. I want to touch up on Rika's character a little bit more too. Like, I thought her story was very sad. That
Mhm.
this whole time when they finally revealed that she was cursed because of Yuta, and the more she uses her, like Gojo was trying to get him to use more, like concentrate his power more on the sword, so
Mhm.
that Rika doesn't go crazy, like because they only allow her to do the incidents like once or twice because they record it twice. But if
Yeah.
she goes crazy, like full blown monster mode, like at the school scene,
Yeah, they said
then
that they'll have to execute like
yeah.
Gojo and Yuta. So
So I thought that it was sad that that when you see that it's Rika is the one who's suffering and not Yuta.
mhm.
And then like when he comes to the resolve of like he's like, Rika, we're gonna do this together, and I need you to be 100% with me. So
Mhm.
let's kill this guy. And like, dude, like that resolve that Yuta has when he fights Geto at the end, like this guy was willing to die because his at this point his friends were like Panda, Inumaki and Maki were out, you know,
Yeah.
and he was like, I'm gonna, like, let's kill this fucker, dude. Like he was gonna kill
Yeah, pretty much.
Geto.
I mean, I believe he was saying something along the lines of like, "This is the last time I'll ever ask for your help. I need
Yeah.
you like right here." And then he didn't realize what he was doing at that time. He was kind of like, I guess in a way making a contract to break the curse, to like, um, uh, but man's went all out, dude. Like that fight scene, I can't stop geeking out about it, man. Every bit of it.
I just like that. Again, we talked. I talked about like how quickly they made Yuta evolve, but man, I just love the resolve that this character had in this movie, being afraid of his powers and like some sort of disbelief in himself, to
Right.
where he wanted to protect himself and his friends, and to master his curse powers.
Hmm.
Because even in the movie, like they talk about like there's only four special grade curse users, Geto and Yuta being one of them, two of them, and then the other two, I think Geto probably killed them. I don't recall. I could be wrong. But just kind of like pedaling back a little bit before we get into like our like talking about the ending. What was your thoughts on Geto, man, as a villain? Because now we're seeing him now as himself before like how, because he, how he's like the villain in the series,
Right.
but it's
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
he has like those bandages on his head. So we're seeing him when he's still like a sorcerer, sort of, or like when he just betrayed Jujutsu High School.
Right. Right. I mean, it's so he, man, he, I it's one of the reasons why I have a love hate relationship with animes because the backstory, like hearing more about his past and seeing I know you know more about it, but like seeing the scenes with him and Gojo, like of their past and how they're close, but they're also like enemies, but kind of like frenemies type of deal. It, I love seeing complexity to characters like that. So I was actually slightly drawn towards him and his motive. Even though he did do some pretty messed up things, like he refers to people as monkeys. You're either the monkey that brings the curse, or what was it, monkey that brings the curse, and there was another one.
I forgot the saying, but he despises humanity that
Right,
has no
yeah.
like curse powers, like, or that are not like sorcerers.
Hmm.
He
And then
wants a world of sorcerers only.
right, it's kind of he's kind of in a way kind of like Magneto, right?
Yeah.
Where but like it kind of makes me wonder too, raises the question like what did he see? And I know but I was like, what did he see that makes him not like humans? And I know it's in some way because it was foreshadowed a little bit with two of his followers. They were saying that they were locked up, and they were sorcerers, but they were being treated very badly. So kind of makes you wonder, like, obviously he has his own motive and he does it in an evil way.
Well, you comparing him to Magneto is a very good analogy, because Magneto, hates how mutants are treated differently,
Right,
and
yeah.
believes that we are the evolved and we're above them. You
Mhm.
know, so not Gojo, but Geto has a similar ideal to where we are above them, so we don't need to service them. Why are we sacrificing ourselves to protect people who can't even like protect themselves, or like
Who treat us a certain way.
yeah, right, treat us equally. So no, like fuck them, like
Pretty
Geto
much,
is
yeah.
like he is like very bitter towards humans.
Mhm.
And but at the same time, like you kind of see like how he manipulates people who have like curses, like the girl who had the curse where she kept
Mhm.
dreaming that she was being like groped and like like sexually assaulted,
Mhm.
and he sees the curse and he like makes it like known. Yeah, I can see that this curse is doing, I can help you, and it costs this much.
Right,
He's
right.
manipulating people's curses, or the curses that are on people to get monetary gain, to grow his I guess
His
his
pool of
team.
curses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or his curse users and stuff like that. And like yeah, exactly that. He's trying to grow his ability because he can control curses with his special
Right,
grade
yeah.
ability. What did you think of his powers though? Did you like that? Like I think his power is very unique, that he can control curses.
I mean, that's a pretty big it's a I would like more in-depth, like, explanations, and actually to see more of it, because I mean, I know he used some, but I feel like he has more that more cards that he's not showing. So I can't wait to see more of those. But his what was it, that one, that black ball that he was saying when he's fighting Yuta.
Oh yeah, yeah, the maelstrom or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
maelstrom.
I
There's
mean,
like 5,000 something curses or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I was trying to recall what it was, but yeah, it's just pretty much like multiple curses, like in one concentrated, ball of energy. Man's is,
That was like Frieza level power right there. Like
yeah.
the tech that Frieza threw at Trunks.
It's funny that you mentioned that because it kind of resembles the Frieza's attack to destroy planets.
And
But
he
yeah,
calls
also,
the monkeys like Frieza. Dude, every time he called humans monkey, I was thinking of Frieza. Dude, I was like, man, this guy's on some Frieza level, dude. Like
oh man,
Frieza's well, Frieza's like racist though. Like Frieza hates the Saiyans and only the
Mhm.
Saiyans. But
True.
then Geto has a hate issue with humanity
Mhm.
overall.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, like you see that Geto has plans set out for Yuta since the beginning because of his
Right. Yeah.
powers. Like even up to
He.
the school part where Maki and Yuta go there to take out curses. And I really like that in that scene too, that Maki was like telling him like we were not all like blessed with powers, or like
Right.
you have to do something about your skill set. And that's kind of like the first time you see Yuta show some resolve and in wanting to save people.
Mhm. Because he came from wanting to lock himself up so people around him would stop getting hurt,
Mhm.
and then yeah, like as you said, you see his development and his resolve to to realize that he also has the abilities to not just hurt people, but he can also save people too. And him seeing that the urgency to do that when they're inside the curse's belly, that there's the two children who are injured, and then and then Maki gets injured. It's his fight or flight,
Yeah.
and he decides to fight, and he calls Rika to come out, and yeah, good call in. I know you mentioned it multiple times, but it's actually, yeah, his resolve is really where a lot of the development of the story takes place. So
I think with Geto, what I liked about Geto is that excuse me, as he's watching Yuta, he wants to have Rika in his arsenal. But then like towards the as the story develops, and then as he first approaches Yuta and offers him the chance to be on his squad, like, hey, look, like, I could really use you on my team. Like, you have powers that'll help, and I'm trying to build this world of sorcerers only. You don't want to be around these people, or you don't want to be risking your life to save humanity who does not care about you. And
right,
he's offering him this choice. But then like you see how he's not even afraid that he's at the territory of Jujutsu High or at the school, and when Gojo confronts him, he tells Gojo, like, you don't want to do this here, man. Like, I'm ready to throw hands on this on site if
yeah,
you're planning to do something. And I like that how Getsu does not fear even Gojo. He's not scared of Gojo,
mhm,
knowing how strong Gojo really is. And Gojo is like, I told you after we watched the movie, like, just a little bit of like how important Gojo is
mhm,
in this overall story. For folks who don't read the manga, Gojo is pretty much like the Jesus character in Jujutsu Kaisen, because of his ability, like his infinite void ability, his eyes, and just it all came. It all really just came down to like chance that he would be the one that has a lot of like say, or not a lot of say, but he's a risk in a way to where if he chooses, he can choose to do whatever he wants without people stopping Gojo. Like, but he tends to stay on the good side. He doesn't sway like how Geto did.
it seems like he's more calculated in his. It's not whether it's a matter that of whether or not he can kill them, but it's whether or not he can prevent his students from getting injured too.
Yeah.
um I feel like that's probably a lot of where his calculations and genius goes, because there's a whole uh scene where they get to announce that he's going to attack two different cities at the same time, so they have to split their forces up. um but it's really just all a diversion, because he also knows that, man, the amount of like strategic battle going on between Gojo and Geto.
It's a lot of mind games.
Yeah, it is. Because there's a diversion, and then dude, that scene when Gojo sends the trio back to Jutsu High. Like he just like I think he just like claps his hands or does something and just
He
flashes.
does like
That was,
he does like a jutsu from Naruto. Or something. He marks the ground. Oh, because Maki stayed behind with with
oh
Yuta,
yeah,
and
Maki
then
stayed behind. So he just sent
he
Panda
sent Panda
and
and even
Toge.
Maki.
Yeah.
But then the thing too, though, like because he did that, this is where like I have like not an issue, but I see a different side of Gojo to where they do talk about it, like you sent your students there knowing that, or I think it was Geto that told him, like, you sent your students knowing that it would snap Yuta,
Right.
to fight back, and
Oh.
even during this this invasion, like Gojo was still calculating, like trying to save the people, even while they're evacuating the cities, and trying to think where the hell is Geto. He's the one who called this game,
Right.
and then he realizes, oh shit, this was always a part of his plan from the beginning. He wanted us to be out here so he can get to Yuta separately.
But you're saying that Geto mentioned that Gojo's plan was actually, I guess, sending the Toge and
Sacrificing his
Panda
students.
back. Yeah, pretty much. So he knows that they're gonna get like brutally hurt. But I guess at the end he also knows that
Geto wouldn't kill them. Yeah.
Right.
Because they're sorcerers. So Geto won't.
Right.
It's like a big gamble, like Gojo's betting on Geto not killing them because they're
Mhm.
sorcerers. But then he's
like
also betting on that when his students get hurt, Yuta's gonna snap. And so
like
like
a game of chess, man. It's crazy.
dude, Gojo's like that. That's why I look at Gojo a little bit differently now, because like it's not that he's willing to kill his students or to off his students, but he's willing to make big plays like that.
Mhm.
He's willing to gamble other sorcerers' lives at this point to get to the end game. Because even in the beginning, like not the beginning, but like throughout this whole movie, Gojo believes in Yuta's powers.
Mhm.
Like he knows that he has a lot of cursed energy, he has a lot of powers. He just has to control it and know how to distribute it, which is why he gave him the sword. Like practice putting your cursed energy in the sword so that you don't just use all your energy all at once,
Mhm.
like before. And so the trust that he has in Yuta is absolutely insane, and the fact that Gojo was just willing to just bet on Yuta seeing his own students get hurt and then fight back.
That tends to happen when you kind of just throw them into on a mission without a paddle.
Yeah, exactly. No, but like to this point of the movie, man, when they have the invasion, like we geeked out when we saw Nanami in the background when Geto was like announcing his game.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, yo, like this is Nanami right there. Like the moment they showed Nanami in the background, I knew he was gonna have the scene.
Oh yeah,
in this movie. And so when they're in the Shinjuku city, I think they were in Shinjuku, not or Kyoto. One of the two.
Yeah, Shinjuku or Kyoto, yeah.
Yeah, and like Nanami has like his Black Flash sequence, and like he's oh man, I loved his like you knew that they were gonna give Nanami a great scene just for the fans. And then when they go to Kyoto, like the section in Kyoto, you see Miwa with her sword ability, Mekomaru, and then I forgot the other guy's name, but the guy with the blood bending ability with the arrows.
Yeah.
Him, and then
you see a little bit of the girl in the broom. I forgot her name too.
Yeah, and then you see Mai shoot with her.
Oh yeah, Mai. Oh yeah, that was badass. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Where's Toto at?" And then Toto's scene, man, like everyone's waiting for Toto. He doesn't even have a fight scene. He just shows his face.
That's where I'm gutted. I'm like, that's like at least let him do the boogie woogie. Just once. That's all.
Man, like I was like sitting next to, I was like hitting up, like, dude, where's Toto? Where's Toto at?
I know. And then you see a big explosion, and like, oh, there he is. And then he drops it.
Like you just see and you see the huge like Godzilla like curse come out, that giant being, and then Toto's like, it's Christmas Eve and you're the host, so we can't like something stupid like that where he's like imagining things again, and then he runs right at the curse. Like it just shows you Toto's always been like crazy like that.
Or like wasn't he saying the host is that girl that he wants to see on TV or something like that?
I don't recall, but it was something
he
about
recalls.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, he recalls the idol that he likes.
Yeah,
and he's like, I'm not gonna miss her or something like that. And then like that was just pure fan service. That whole scene, it wasn't needed, but it was definitely much appreciated. So
I'm just mad. Like, dude, I'm just mad that they didn't let Toto have a fight scene, man.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love his powers. Like, it's so simple when him and Yuji fight Hanami, and he just clapping away,
Mhm.
and then Hanami's like, damn, like I can't tell him when he's gonna clap because he can fake it, and then when I think that he's gonna fake it, he does it,
And
and
then
so it's just
he can also trade places with me, not just his teammate. Yeah,
yeah, like
I mean, I know we're not talking about season 1, but that fight scene was so great.
no, it was really clever. And again, back on this topic too, where clever Mappa fight scenes when Getso and Yuta fight one on
Mhm.
one, dude. Or not even that. Before that, when Panda and Inumaki like breaking through the what is it, the void, or not the void, like the
The
barrier,
veil,
the
yeah.
veil, yeah. And
Yeah.
because you kind of learned like Getso can summon another veil within a veil.
Right. Yeah, you learned that in the Toge on his mission, yeah.
Yeah, and so Panda knows how to break through veils or find like a weak spot in it, and then to get
The
to get
fastest
to
route
it.
to get there, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was really clever that Panda knew that. And then even when Panda had his one-on-one against Geto, like you see him fight like hand to hand, and then he turns
That's
to the
badass.
8 mode. I thought the animation was so clean, and like Geto's like, Panda's surprised that Geto can fight with hands and he realizes how strong he is too.
Mhm.
And then Inumaki's like, what was the word he said? He's like plunder or something like that. He said something, and then like
Yeah.
squished Geto, and you think that he's out, but then he gets back up and takes them out.
Right.
And then that's when Yuta jumps in the fight, heals, which is cool. It was cool to see Yuta healing them too. He used his
Right, yeah.
energy to heal them to stop their wounds. And then as they're fighting, that's when he pulls out the mic, the big
The
microphone.
megaphone is so
Yeah, the
badass,
megaphone with
man.
like the
With Toge's
Inumaki
curse
clan.
symbols, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And he's like, he says death or like die, and man, I was not expecting that to be that cool. Like
Yeah.
I already like it's seeing the symbols on there, like holy shit, like what's gonna happen? And he even mastered using those symbols already
Right.
to kill off whatever curses that Getso summoned. And even Getso acknowledges, like, man, like that's
That's
hard.
pretty insane, yeah.
Yeah, like that's a hard thing to do, like just writing down symbols like that and to get it like that. And then Yuta even acknowledges that
Like,
Inumaki's powers
it's
are hard to
hard to
control.
yeah.
But dude, like everything about this last fight scene was like what made the movie, man. The last 30 minutes or so, it's
Mhm.
what made this movie, man. Like you just see, like you said, the frames that happens. Even when when Getsu has like the staff, the chains, the staff with the chains on it. I forget
Yeah.
the actual term. Jet Li used it in the movie Fearless.
It's the three section staff or something like that.
The
That scene
animation was like they choreographed it so well to it's like almost realistic. It's not like
Right.
wild swings, or it's not like it doesn't like swing all the way around, or like like typical anime stuff. Like they
Mhm.
use like real like movements of the staff.
Yeah.
And
It's
like
like they
I think
actually got someone to like model like actual using it, and they use those as references to like how
yeah.
it would look at this scene at this angle. Man, I want to see that fight again.
Dude, I loved how like when get or not get so when Yuta tells Rika, like, like, you see this man, like I hate him, I despise him, and then Rika's like, so you want me to kill him, you want me to do it? He's like, yeah, I hate this man, let's kill him.
Mhm.
Like, dude, it just something about like how when him telling how Yuta tells Rika, like, I want to kill him, like let's get rid of this guy, like he really means it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I love that. And then like just prior before that, when he was healing his
Yeah, I
friend,
was hoping you're gonna bring this
yeah.
up. Yeah.
And then Enrique's like, I hate you. Why are you doing this? And he's like dragging Maki around, and he's like, hey, she's like more delicate than a flower or a butterfly. So be nice to her.
And then I mean, on a part of me was thinking like, is Rika gonna get mad and turn? But no, she like you said she pulls like a Toru, like she's like, oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Dude, the whole time I thought her like the way how like she's so obsessed with Rika, how Rika's obsessed with Yuta. I thought of Toru from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Like it's similar in that sense too, because Toru is like a really strong magical being, and so
But
I just
she likes her weakness is Kobayashi.
yeah, but
So
she still like she not submits, but she's tender towards Kobayashi. But that was the same thing with Rika and Yuta, like how she's like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. You're not mad at me, are you? Like, don't hate me. And I just thought that was really funny to see like the curse, just like drag Maki around like a ragdoll. Like I hate you. You know, like why are you doing this?
I think it's a clever way to also show that, like, even though she's cursed, or that she is a curse, or as we see it at that point, that she is the curse cursing Yuta. I think it goes to it plays a small little role to show, like, to remind us that even though she's is a curse, she's also still has some humanistic traits. Like, she
Mhm.
still has those emotions. And that that segues into the I guess the reveal, like, Yuta making that final pact with Rika, and then at the end, I don't know if we want to go there yet, because I still also want to mention that the purple
Oh
attack.
yeah. When okay, so before we get to like the final resolve, or like the contract, when Yuta and Geto fight, yeah, like he broke the sword.
Right, yeah.
He was putting so much energy in the sword that it broke. But then he does the black flash, which, oh my god, like I didn't think that they would let Yuta do black flash. Like it was just, it had like a really big like Itadori feel to it, because he
Mhm.
swung and he punched Geto and sent him flying with the black flash technique.
Things I
And
miss. I don't know why I didn't catch that. I'm so this is why I need to watch that fight over again, because I can't believe I missed that. When you told me, I'm like, son of a bitch, I missed it.
like, and then just to see how fast Yuta's fighting abilities are. And
Mhm.
to counter, I think he used purple to counter the maelstrom
Yeah,
attack
yeah.
that Getzo had. And I initially I want to say it is purple. I don't know if it is, but like, because the technique was purple, I'm just gonna say it's purple. And like he did
Mhm.
the hand gesture. He did the hand gesture like Gojo did.
Mhm, mhm.
Like he does, like he just puts his hand out and does the attack. So if Yuta can do purple and he can do black flash, I think he's like levels ahead of Yuji, dude. In terms of
Definitely.
just like character. If Yuji didn't have like Sukuna in him, like I think Yuta could probably kill him.
Yeah, I definitely do think it is, because the entity inside, or really kind of, I guess the entity with Yuta is one that's for him, where Sukuna is kind of like
Against.
against Yuji.
Yeah. But he can't
Um,
kill Yuji either, though. That's the thing.
right.
He needs Yuji to stay alive. So that's what, and again, back to comparing to the both of them. They're both very similar characters. They both have
Mhm.
entities. They both are trained under Gojo, but they both have uh they kind of have the same motives. And um just to the final fights, to the end of the fight, where he finally uses all his powers and Rika becomes human again. That's the thing
Mhm.
that then goes to the reveal that the pact was made when Yuta refused to let Rika
Like,
die.
yeah, his the curse was made when his emotions were so disrupted. Seeing, man, that was a brutal scene, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard to watch. But seeing Rika's body on the ground, and it's funny because we see that earlier. We see the shadows, but we think that it's
Her
Rika
cursing,
cursing
yeah.
Yuta, but it's the other way around. And you kind of see that it's just like he eventually, like, sets her free.
I was
It's
telling you, like, it was similar to Hmong urban legends, like
yeah.
in the Hmong culture, like if you do like blood promises or something, like like some sort of promise that
Mhm.
goes beyond the spiritual realm, then your loved one comes back to haunt you. So I'm just like, yo, so this is what they did.
It's ironic because it was just earlier this week that we were talking about. That's a couple
Yeah,
nights before. It's
yeah.
crazy.
So I completely thought, like, so I was like, man, this is not so different from Hmong culture anyway.
Yeah, no, no, you actually, like, I think you whispered that to me during the movie. Like, it's kind of
Yeah,
like
I was like, oh my
like
god, they made Hmong blood promises. um, one thing I wanted to touch up on. What was your thoughts on Gojo's fight scene against the Kenyan character, the guy with the
man,
ropes?
it's pretty awesome.
Like, Gojo was throwing hands at this guy, and it
Yeah,
it
but
was so fast paced.
you could also tell that, I don't know. It seemed like he also didn't want to kill him too, kind of. he wanted to kill the curses, not the cursed users. Because here he is, just kind of like doing more hand to hand with the sorcerer, but when the actual curse comes along, he blasts it.
Oh yeah, he does the red technique, dude. That was sweet as hell too.
Yeah.
Like you see, I love how you see the demeanor in Gojo change, like
Mhm.
from just playful to when he's serious.
Right. Yeah.
Like I can it makes me think that I really wish we get to see him like fight Sekuna like seriously, because even in season 1 as episode 2, he's like, I have to show off a little bit for my students,
Right.
and it's kind of like playing with Sakuna, but then I would love to see Gojo fight seriously against a curse like that.
Like maybe seeing Gojo fight Sukuna like at full strength or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Well, I mean, even in the show, he admits, like, he's like, yeah, it'll be a tough fight, but I can beat him.
Right.
Like he tells Yuji that, and man, they'll always tease that with Gojo. Like, I don't think they'll ever show us his full power unless like his back is against the wall.
Right.
Where like I think the only way you'd have to beat Gojo is you have to like corner him. But then the thing is, how can you corner someone with like that kind of power?
With that, and you see that he's like, it's not just cornering him, but you actually have to outsmart him too, because he's again, he's playing chess, and he's like, it seems like he's always like at least 2 or 3 steps ahead,
Yeah, like even at the end though, when he talks to Geto after Geto like survives being hit by purple, and I think he lost an arm or something, right?
Yeah,
and then like you kind of see that these two still have a bond where Geto tells him like, you sent your students here knowing that it's Snap Yuta, and you took a big gamble on that, and then they kind of mute what Gojo tells him. And we were talking about this in the car ride home. Like I was saying that, yeah.
Uh-huh.
What our thoughts were on what Gojo said. I thought that it was more like, because he kind of mentions it too, at the end where he's like, we were friends or something like that, like, or something to you. I forgot the exact quote, but he tells you to like, my friend told me that, and I think even no matter how bad Geto became or how evil he became, like even with his act of like massacring people, Gojo still saw him as his friend.
Right. Yeah.
So
you can kind of like fill in the blanks of something of what he said
along the lines of that, like, he probably told. I'm assuming he told Geto like, you're still my friend or something like that.
Yeah.
So I really liked that they give a more softer side to Gojo besides the whole comedic relief moments. In a way, he's like, I might be pushing the boundary, but Gojo is like pretty much the perfect character in Jujutsu Kaisen. He's like a mix of like Levi and Kakashi and all the other cool characters, but then they're too strong, but that's why they're not the protagonist. They're always just they're just coaching the students.
He's like edgy, but he's also very like cool too, like very like comedic. So it's hard not to like him. It's hard not to like really like geek out over him,
It just makes me think of those memes, like if your girlfriend's watching Jujutsu Kaisen, then she's Gojo's girl now.
She's not your girl anymore.
So I thought that was really like it just shows how well written this character is. And then with the fandom, I know like a lot of these there's a lot of like the younger viewers who love Gojo too. Like you see it on Twitter or on social media, like Gojo's pretty much a fan favorite. But yeah, that's pretty much like the movie right there, and it's recapped. Like it's not nothing crazy to like I said before at the beginning of this episode, you don't have to watch the show to enjoy this movie. Chronologically, you should watch this first and then season 1, but then season 1 just gives you a better viewpoint of the characters that are in this movie.
You could, but I would say like if you haven't watched it, well,
what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, you shouldn't be at this point in the podcast anyways. But like there's so much Easter eggs in that you would miss if you didn't watch season 1 before watching this. Because even the whole like when Gojo's introducing the classmates to Utah, he mentions a little bit about Maki, and he mentions a little about Toge, and then he says panda.
And
He's just a
stops.
panda, and then they always have the same reaction. It's just like I was hoping to hear a little more of his backstory. Like,
He's the one I want to know, like the
yeah,
talking panda. I thought that was funny too. Like YouTube's like, okay, and that's panda, and it's like,
that's it.
what? That's it. Like there's nothing else.
Because usually did the same thing too, right?
Yeah, I think it
Or
was
no,
something
the whole
similar to that.
yeah, it was actually no, it was
Shiguro, right?
Shiguro, yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
He's
man,
like,
like I want to know what's this deal? Like it's a
yeah.
talking panda.
And
Oh
I
man.
do like the reminder that Panda is just he is a puppet too, because after his fight, you see like fluff coming out of his arms
Yeah.
after his battle with Geto.
Yeah, he lost his arms, but
Yeah.
he can get them back, or he can recover and get them back. What did you think of the end credit scene? I'm glad that we stayed, dude. Like, I already knew they were gonna do something like that, because the end credit scene now is I assume that it's in the current time
Mhm.
of the story, because you see Yuta's a little bit older now. He's got a little bit longer hair. He doesn't have the curse anymore, but he still has the ring, and he's
Mhm.
eating at the curse user, the Kenyan curse
Yeah.
user restaurant, and then gets and our Gojo shows up and is like, hey, I need to talk to you about something.
Right. Man, you and I were talking about it too, but it's just you were hoping to see some kind of like cameo from the trio, but we didn't get
Yeah,
that.
dude. No, okay, because this confirms, if for those who stayed and watched the end credit scenes, this confirms that Yuta is in the timeline. Like, this is not just like some non-canon story. He's canon. He's in
Mhm.
the story. So eventually he may run into Yuji or Nobara, or all three of them. It's just a matter of when.
Mhm.
And I can't wait to see if it does get animated, like how the crowd would react to seeing Yuta, Gojo, Itadori, Fushiguro, Nobara all together. Like that would
Mhm.
be insane, because we know how strong Yuta is. So imagine like him being like a mentor or like an older brother to Yuji, or like like a senpai to
Right.
Yuji.
Yeah, he would fall along the lines of that. I can't remember, was it in that scene, was Gojo wearing a black mask or a white mask?
Yeah. Oh no, he was wearing like the goggles,
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
kind of like in the end credit scene where like they do the plan B to save
Oh,
Fushiguro.
oh my god, those shorts are so good.
Yeah, I love how he calls the girl a home wrecker. Like, you home
Yeah.
wrecker.
Uh,
It's just funny because like that's probably one of my favorite shorts, and I'm it makes me think of like when I spoke with Anyatko about it.
mhm.
Just like what was Plan A and Plan C then? It probably would have been something more outlandish.
Right.
I
Uh,
just think it's funny how Yuji's like Cookie Saki Sensei, someone's hitting on Fushiguro, and
because
then they all
at
get up
first,
and run.
yeah, at first they're all just like, what do you want? And then some, Fushiguro talking to a girl, and then they just immediately start getting up and running. Yeah, that's actually my favorite short too.
Yeah, I think that was that's a good one. No, I wanted to bring up too, like they show like the other teachers, like the other source, like high level sorcerers too
Mhm,
in the
mhm.
movie. So like they do show you the other characters that's in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, and hopefully we get to see more of them in the upcoming season. But did you have anything else to say, man? Like, do you have any theories on Yuta, or what do you expect to see? Do you expect to see more of Yuta in the show?
It's oh no, I definitely, hands down, I want him. Like, I think it would be a crime if they just did this movie, and then in the next season they don't show any kind of reference to Utah, because I mean he was the pivotal part of the movie. I would love to. I want to see it. I have to see it. um, but as for theories, like overlying plot, I have a couple theories. Some of them might be outlandish, and I don't know how accurate they are. I'd rather not say, because, um, obviously the story, and you know if it is or not. But I have my thoughts of conspiracy. I'll just say that.
Say it. Like there could be like non manga readers watching this episode.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, just theories, and I hate saying it because when I say it, I put it out there, and I'm just like, it could be very wrong. Could do okay, fine, I'll say it.
Yeah, but you haven't read the manga yet, so you wouldn't know.
Right. You know, obviously, whenever you see the scenes with Gojo and kind of like with the council, with everyone who has a chair, and he's the ones who are telling him that, like, if he has another slip up, we're gonna execute both, because it was Gojo who stuck his neck out for Yuta to begin with, because they wanted to execute him to begin with, and then Gojo stuck his neck out saying, how about we use that curse ability to against the curses. So you can tell that he doesn't like the council, and then also along the lines that, like, Geto obviously left the school for some kind of reason, which we haven't revealed yet. Conspiracies along the lines of that, like, eventually Gojo will have to fight against the school for whatever reason, though he might have some plan. I think that might be, it's a theory, but it may be one of the things that he whispers to Geto is like, soon, or something like that, like, we'll be able to do something. I theorycraft too much with that, but that's kind of one of the things that possibly occurred to me. So I'm very eager to see where the story's going to go. I guess with the overarching plot of like the Jujutsu High, the curse users, and the actual curses, because we still have Mahito to worry about, and the last
clans.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah, and the last brother that they fight, or at least the older brother of the two that Nobara and Yuji killed.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean that's all I have to say about the movie. It was great. I'm glad that we were able to catch it on the premiere night. Or I guess you can consider that. Was that the first screening?
Yeah, or no, I think there was. Well, no, that was the first sub screening we went to. There was another. There was a dub screening too, but then I wouldn't have mind watching the dub, because the English dub cast for Jujutsu Kaisen is actually pretty good.
No, I agree.
But yeah, that's that is in itself like probably one of the few animes that I like both English and and watch sub. If you want to start your own podcast like Spoiler Force, then sign up with Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout has helped hundreds of thousands of users like me to begin their podcasting journey. With easy-to-use tools, you can effectively get your podcast into different platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and more. You can view your stats, create audio clips, and even have your own podcasting website. Buzzsprout offers ideas, tips, tricks, and tutorials to help you improve your podcast. Follow the link below, and once you sign up, you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card. This will let Buzzsprout know that I sent you, and will also support Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want a simpler way to record both video and audio for your podcast, then sign up with StreamYard. StreamYard is the perfect program to create podcasts, host live streams, and even do video calls. There are many tools that can help you create and design your own personal studio. You can screen share, read live comments, and stream to different destinations like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can also download your video and audio once you're done with your recording session. Follow the link below, and once you sign up with the basic or pro plan, you'll earn a $10 credit to use for StreamYard. Happy podcasting. But Jujutsu Kaisen was a big thing we saw at Nishi Fest too. And when we went yesterday, Nishi Fest was in Arlington, Texas. For those who don't know, it was a one-day event. Me and Michael, we got press passes. So this was the first time Spoiler Force ever had, or like, that I got press passes ever. And I remember, getting rejected a lot because of the small following. So to everyone who's following Spoiler Force or watching the content or sharing it, thank you guys, because without this kind of support, I would not have gotten, or I would have never thought I'd get like press passes. But yeah, we went on Saturday. We got there around 10:30. like it's funny. Is originally we were supposed to go there earlier, but then we both woke up late. So we got there, and thank God we got our passes like the day before for early
Mhm.
pickup, because we would have been stuck in line. Like that line
Yes.
was insane. Uh, but yeah, man, like this was my first convention in Texas. I really enjoyed just what they were able to bring. Shout out to Dave, the guy that ran the convention. I got to meet him twice. I met him during the early pickups, and then I met him outside when we went to grab food
Mhm.
during the fest yesterday. So shout out to him for even allowing me to do or to like to do press coverage for Nishi Fest. But yeah, man, like the remainder of this episode will be about Nishi Fest. So um Michael, what was your thoughts, Michael? I know it's been a while since you've been to like a small convention like that too.
It was great. I've been to, I think maybe one or two anime conventions before, but I wasn't really like into anime like as I've have become in these past like 2 years. Um, so definitely becoming more immersed in I guess the culture of it, and expanding my my library of anime. It was a treat, definitely. All the cosplays, and thanks to you, I've you know uh what's the word? I know more about voice actors and actresses and cosplayers. Um, Honestly, it's thanks to you that I was able to really truly enjoy this at the level that I did, because introducing me to all these really kind of helped me understand like how great this opportunity was uh to see all the guests, the cosplay, the art, just the whole culture of these conventions. Definitely opened my eyes up to see like how much fun, and how much you can get from these events. So it was totally worth it.
Yeah, as hectic as like these events are,
Oh man.
there's something like post Comic Con blues or post con blues. I'm probably gonna feel that tomorrow, because like we were on this high all day yesterday of just like going to all the vendors and meeting all the cosplayers and all the guests, and getting like doing the shit that we want done. So like yesterday we were Michael was my videographer yesterday, so we were like doing interviews. I'm still salty though that I fucked up on my interview with Ricco Fajardo, because I didn't click record on my freaking phone, man. So we have to for those who are like for watching or listening, like these interviews that I have with the cosplayers and voice actors, they'll come out eventually. It won't be. I don't know when I'll get it done. I mean, they're very short clips. Very like the longest is probably like 3 minutes or so. I'm still debating if I want to do like one big collage or just do like upload them individually. I think we have like 6 interviews total. I got to interview Rico Fajardo, the voice of Lemillion. I got to interview Caitlin Glass. She does the voice for Mina Ashido in My Hero. Um, who's the other one? Caitlin Barr.
Caitlin Barr.
Caitlin Barr. Yeah, I got to interview her. Um, and then the cosplayers: Stella Chuu, Jenny Belly, Kyatorin, Erin. Her stage name is like or her cosplay name, not stage name. Her cosplay name is what, like Elvish,
Yeah.
Illyrian. I keep thinking of the stock when
Ithileryn or something like that.
like
Yeah.
I keep thinking of the crypto stock when I hear her name.
Ethereum.
So I don't know if how to pronounce her name, but there's her, and then Double J Cosplay. That was really cool. I like Double J Cosplay was like probably one of the first male cosplayers I've talked to.
He's
Usually,
real
like,
down to earth. I
yeah, like,
really enjoyed talking with him a little bit.
yeah, because a lot of these like the cosplay community has always been centered around like cosplay girls. I mean, like the male community has always been there for cosplay, but it didn't have that same traction like how the women brought. Look at Yaya Han, Jessica Nigri. Like these top names that are mostly carried by women when it comes to cosplaying. So it's really cool to see that men in cosplay is like coming up too. They're on the come up. So it was really cool to see to speak with Double J about his experience, and you know And a lot of these cosplayers, they were all in Genshin. Genshin was huge yesterday. Like
Oh
I saw
man,
so many Genshin cosplayers, Jujutsu Kaisen cosplayers, Demon Slayer. Like those three were the groups that stood out the most. Like you saw a lot of that. So
it
like
didn't surprise me, but you're right. Yeah.
yeah, like even the guests were all in Genshin. You know, Stella Chuu was in Shenhe's costume. Bindi Smalls was dressed as Eula. Uh, Double J was Xiao. Kyatorin had her own like unique take on Kaching. She had like what the Hanfu, I think that's what it's called.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know what the name is for the Japanese outfit, but she had that. I think Aaron was the only one that had like a comic book based costume. She was Harley
Oh
Quinn,
yeah. But
which was
man,
really
it was
cool.
so good. It was so
Yeah,
good.
and then she had the huge hammer
Mallet.
with her,
Yeah.
the huge mallet. Yeah, and then who else was there? Like
Oh,
yeah,
Jenny
and
Belly
then, like
was
oh
she
yeah,
was
Jenny Belly.
Marin.
She was Mattering from my dress up there.
Oh
Like
my, it was so good. 'Cause
dude,
we're because I was I was honestly expecting to see more Marins because like how
there's only like
good.
2 or 3 that I saw.
Yeah, but
But
when we
dude,
saw her,
the
like as soon as we popped
opportunity
the
to dress
corner,
as Gojo from My Dress Up
uh,
Darling. Oh my god, man, that should have been like we should
I
have
should
done
have done
something like
it. I should have done it, man. I should have done it. I just got my haircut. I could have done it.
that. But yeah, it was really cool to meet them and interview them. So shout out to all of them. I'll have all their links in the show notes and description on YouTube, so you guys can follow them. Yeah, and also for Nishi Fest too. So yeah, it was just awesome. And the whole experience. Once we got all those interviews done, I was passing out cards like crazy. A lot of the a lot of just local cosplayers. I think the guy who dressed up like Chainsaw Man, his was really good.
Yes,
That
yeah.
guy was really good. It was pretty much down to the T. Like his I don't know why he didn't enter that cosplay contest.
He
he
should
would
have.
he
I
would
think
have
he would have.
he
Oh
would have
yeah,
won.
definitely.
Like his props were good. Like
Like
the head and then
and then
the
the hand
claws.
saws. Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. There was a few Tifas there. I like. There was one girl that had like dressed up like Tifa that was really good. I couldn't find her. I saw her and I couldn't find her. I wanted to take a picture of her so that I
Mhm.
can put it on my Instagram and show all these cosplayers. There was the one Raftalia. There was one,
Yeah, hers is really good. It's actually really good.
and then there was a few 2Bs. Is it 2B right from the game?
Yeah, 2B from Near.
Yeah. So there was a few of them. I'm trying to. There was one Yuna out of like there's always like those characters that just stand out that I see.
Right.
Like one Yuna, there was the one girl who dressed like Mikey from Tokyo Revengers, the only
Yeah.
Mikey there. So I was like, what
And then
the hell? Man?
there was Chica too. Chica and Kaguya.
Oh yeah. We saw them in line at the
Crack Brisket area. It was
Crack
around
Brisket.
there. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, crack brisket.
I'm getting hungry thinking of the food. I know we were originally
I
going to talk about
oh
the
my god,
food,
I
but my
want
stomach
brisket
is
so bad right now.
already growling.
And what's the pork belly? What's it
Oh,
called
the
again?
Lechon.
Lechon. Oh my god,
Yeah, it was
I still
apparently it was
remember the texture and the crispiness.
and the spices they use. Is, oh my
Oh
god, I
my
need to
god,
stop.
I'm telling you, dude.
I'm
I'm
gonna
telling you,
eat
sticky
after
rice
this.
and Thai chili peppers would have been so good.
We should
Of
have
the
did it.
saltiness and sourness of the Lechon, dude. Like and the what was the other pork belly? The
The
burnt
burnt
ends.
ends. Yeah,
Oh my god, I'm so hungry right now. Dude,
we're gonna eat after. after
yeah,
this.
we need to eat after this. I'm getting so hungry. Dude,
Oh my god.
cracked brisket, and the guy who did the Lechon, he had his own Instagram
Yeah,
page.
he from I spoke with the owner of Crack Brisket. He was the one who was checking people out. No, he was the one taking orders, not checking out. But I think he said it was his brother or cousin or something like that. And they collabed for this event, and but I think they mentioned that they're going to don't quote me on this, but I think they mentioned something along the lines of they want to open up a location because they right now they're only do strictly catering, and I for one have been very eager to try their stuff because I always miss their pop-ups. So they
Dude,
only do
we should order catering, and they're like catering for just 2 people. Yes, this is our
y'all want to
lunch
eat this
dinner.
much? Yes.
This is for us for like the next 2 weeks.
Right, yeah.
We'll be so sick of it, eating it every day.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I
if
don't know how we can stick with it though, because man, even without barbecue sauce, it was just so good.
oh yeah, no, it
Like
was
that's
like
how you know like
super.
food is good, man. When you don't have to dip it in sauce or alter the taste. Dude, like I want some food now. I really want some. Oh my God.
We'll get. I'm gonna take you to this barbecue place in Arlington sometime this week. So
I really wanted to try that Lao tent. They had sticky rice and papaya
oh, we'll go
salad.
we'll go there another time. So that's Nalin. They have a shop in Irving.
Okay.
So I can bring some home one day, and we can try it, or you can try it. It's good, really good Lao food.
And then no, what
But
was that ice cream truck?
I
What
was
was
gonna
that?
bring that up. It was called Scoops and Buns. They
Oh yeah,
had
you had the sandwich.
I had two of them.
Oh
The
shit.
first one was it was a donut ice cream sandwich. So they get the donut and they toast it. They cut it in half and then they kind of toast it on a waffle press to get it nice and warm. And then they put, oh, man, I'm getting so hungry. They put a scoop of ube ice cream. And if you don't know, ube is a sweet purple yam. And it's very Southeast Asian. But it's got like a nice sweet creaminess. It was so
Is
good.
that
And
what's in like the buns, like at the Viet store or like at the Asian markets? Like it's
oh
a
no,
bun
those
with like.
that's red bean that's in
Oh
those.
okay.
So or sometimes they do taro too, but that's more in pastries, like a taro cream or something like that.
Oh okay.
But but yeah, that was amazing. I went back for a second one, but they ran out of the ube, so I'm like, okay, fine. So I got a horchata ice cream. Still great. But
I was basic. I got the vanilla bean ice cream.
oh yeah, you got the vanilla bean scoop. I'm like, come on, Ricky, you can get that anywhere.
It was good though. I'm very basic when it comes to ice cream. Like it's either that or cookies and cream. That's it. Those are
What
my
was
only
that?
two options.
What was that? Was that a joke I made? Like you're tasting
Oh,
the
like
ice cream. He's like,
my taste in women's the same as my taste in ice cream. Just basic.
it's like, yeah, I like vanilla too.
I'm very
Yeah,
I'm very vanilla. I'm a very vanilla person. Oh
uh,
man.
but no. And the last thing I want to mention, I can't shut up about it because they had this a pandan refresher. I hate that I didn't get more because they sold out. It's like pandan. If you know what it is, it's a leaf, but it's used in desserts like for Lao and Hmong it's namban, and I guess for Viet it's chia. It's got coconut based. So good. It's like a milkshake, but not milk.
Oh, that's what you had in the green bottle, right?
Yeah. The green.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a green drink.
yeah.
That would be a good prop for like a Zelda green potion.
Nice. No, I no the vendors were freaking awesome, man. Shout out to all the vendors, man, like for coming and collaborating with this event. Honestly, if it wasn't for the food trucks and stuff there, like it wouldn't have been as fun too. And then the car show, man. Like I'm not too
Yeah.
big on cars. The car show was really cool. I think I saw some Express Skin stuff there. The whole like weeaboo thing, like
The
branding,
waifu hunter.
waifu
Yeah.
hunters. Like it was really cool to see all of that there. The only car I really recognized was that Skyline because they had GTR right on there. I was like, yep, that's
It's like,
the
oh,
car.
I know that car.
Yeah. So you've seen Elf, right? Where Elf's like, I know him. I know him. Like that's how I was like, I know that one. I know that. That's the Skyline. I know that. So no, that was always a car that I wanted when I was like in grade school. I would play like Midnight Club and Need for Speed. Like that was like always the best car to get.
If you grew up around like the import scene, if you at one point in your life dreamed of having a Skyline.
Yeah.
So but no, what I loved about the car show is just for me it was like a clash of two worlds because at one point I was going to car shows like Hot Import Nights to see like all the nice kitted out cars, show cars, race cars, and everything, and then like to see that clash with like an anime convention. It's like two worlds colliding. It's weird for me. I know it's been a thing, but it's my first time being exposed to it at first hand, like seeing all the waifu decals and the wraps and everything. And also seeing some very tastefully modded cars. Like there was this a cord that had this whole spoon look on it. It's like the blue and yellow. Caught my eye, and it's just like I love that, and I also love that. It's just so good.
Yeah, there was a lot of cars. People were just like driving in and out. So it was just really cool
It was
to
like
see all that.
there was that car that was coming in when we were leaving. It's just a regular like a Chevy. I forgot what they're called, the HR or something like that. But it literally just had like a couple stickers, and it had like bull horns on the front of the car, and
Oh
they
yeah.
yeah. So
I remember
there
that.
weren't a lot of cars, so I guess they were letting a lot of people in. But
Shit, I should have
it was a
just
great.
drove my car in there.
I'm just saying, all we had to do is just go buy some stickers, throw them on your
Put out,
car.
throw my car, and just drive in there. Like, yeah, look at my dirty TC that needs a fucking car wash.
But I love how Nishi is kind of like they don't say anime convention. They said it's an Asian culture
Festival. Yeah.
festival. So it's kind of like it's such an open platform that if you want to be a
It's
part
very
of it,
general.
yeah,
It's very catering to Asian culture. So that's
Mhm.
including like anime, import cars,
the food,
cosplay, food. It's a lot of that, which is really cool. I would rather have it like that than just specifically for like anime.
right.
I hope they do more though. They did mention that they are going to try to do one in the fall. So if they do one in the
So
fall, I'm signing up for a fucking panel and for a press pass, man. Like, let me do like a 15-minute panel. It don't even need to be 30 minutes. Give me 15 minutes. I'll just talk about how easy it is to start a podcast. It's really easy. But yeah, man. So if Dave and any of the Nishi Fest people are watching, please give me a chance. I'm asking you guys to give me a chance to do a panel, and if they want to ever jump on this podcast, I'm willing to work with them. And if they want to have me collaborate, I'm willing to collaborate, man. Like I really like the community that they've built, but to continue on though, I don't want to like make this all about like me begging them for help. But
no, but I think like if I could just kind of piggyback off that a little, I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who, might want to start doing podcasts, especially with like, man, podcasting is popping up left and right, and if people want to do it, I think, I mean, you have a lot of good insight into, what are the ways, because a lot of people just they don't know how to start, usually
Yeah.
that's just what they need. So hey, um Ricky's built this up from the ground. You'd be a great you'd be able to give some really good pointers and tips on how to start, because maybe this can segue into some of the panels that we went to
Yeah.
while we were there, because some of the panels, like I went to them, and I left with information that I didn't really know I was gonna learn, because how well informed they were. I know we went to the My Hero, staying positive on social media, the posing one. That was actually really
that was the
interesting
first one we
too.
went to with Jenny
Yeah.
Billy and Double J.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny though, like how Jenny Belly was going through, and she's like, "I think I'm burning through my list here." And it was only like the first like 10 minutes in. So they did really well
They did,
on their
yeah.
panel. They were able to like not improv, but they were able to carry the conversation. And then when they had, of course, you always rely on fan questions,
Mhm.
or like audience questions to carry on the time. But yeah, man, like I think one thing that Double J said that really stuck out to me in that panel was like posing. Like
Mhm.
I had never thought like he brought up the whole boxer posing, right?
Mhm.
Where like usually boxers are like guarded tight, but then he's like in cosplay or pictures, you have to like be more like exaggerative, like instead of like being like an actual traditional fighting stance, you have to like keep your hands out, so like it's I thought that was really cool.
You're
Just
gonna get the people who are just like, that's not how you fight. That's not the fighting stance. But
I
like,
know
but it
people are
like
gonna
looks
hate
good.
people are
Yeah.
gonna hate me for that, like, but whatever. I mean, everyone's an internet warrior now, so but yeah, I like that insight. And then I really liked just no, we walked out at the last like 5 minutes though before they
Yeah,
actually wrapped up,
because we were hungry.
yeah, Philip wanted to eat.
Yeah.
But overall, that was a really fun panel. And then we went to the My Hero one. It was really cool to kind of just get the backstories on Caitlin Glass, Ricco Fajardo, just to hear their experiences. I think Caitlin, because Caitlin does ADR and directing, so she brought up really good points of like how to pursue voice acting, and
Mhm.
it's not just voice acting. Like she made a great point. Like you have to pursue acting in general,
Yeah. Mhm.
and then take like musical classes, read books, study and practice. And like, it's true. Like a lot of people think voice acting is really easy because easily I could just do voice acting myself with what I have set up and just send out my recordings as audition tapes, right? But it's not like it's a steady 8 to 5 job. You have to be booked consistently to get money.
Mhm.
And I think Rico brought up a great point. Like he's always, singing. He's always like being active. Um, I really like that, he's consistent with his work, and do commercials. They talk about like, you got to do commercials. That's what pays the bills. You got to do like these
Mhm.
commercials. I think he said he was the voice for the Cinemark 16 or Cinemark
I think I heard
popcorn
that too.
ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said that because most of these voice actors are based on like the Dallas area because Funimation's in Texas here, which we still need to go check out. I would love to go check out Funimation and probably get kicked out for just like loitering around there. Like, what are you doing here? Like, we just want to see the building. But yeah, man, like
It's like, y'all
I
hiring?
yeah, no, exactly. Like, can I help with audio engineering even though I have no experience? uh, yeah, dude, like it was just really cool to hear their insight on that. And
I mean, yeah, they give a lot of tips on like what makes a voice actor versus like a great voice actor. Like they talk about a lot of the background stuff. I mean, obviously their entire roles are kind of like more background, but like all the preparations, how it was working from home, and how
oh
they
yeah,
had to
like
set the
building
rooms
the
up.
mattress fortress, like
Yeah,
to block out sound. They like be in their closets and they talk about like connectivity issues and like one of them said like you could say sing a whole song and then if there's like a drop you have to do it all over again, which I thought was
yeah.
crazy.
Like they're
Um
talking about like how lawnmowers are their worst enemies.
yeah.
Like their neighbors don't mowing their lawns. Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
what was the next panel we saw? We saw the business one a little bit. We didn't or is
We
it
stayed. So that was right after the
it
My
was like back
Hero.
to
It
back.
was
That one
yeah.
had Stella Chuu. Was Bindi small? Was it Bindi that was in that one too, or is it just Stella Chuu?
It was Stella Chu. It was Lily Pichu, and who's the other one?
I think it was Bindi. Hold on, let me look at my Instagram. I took pictures of it. Um, let's see. Yeah, there was a lot to do. Yeah, no, it was Jenny Belly.
Oh right, yeah, right.
Yeah, they were talking about like how to start a business, and I think Stella brought up a great point. And like you got to LLC your content, and you got to know your business ends. And it was really cool to hear her talk about like her background too. Like she got like a degree, and then she pursued cosplay full time, and her now husband is like supporting her on the business end, and they consistently like work like that it's a steady job at this point.
Yeah,
And
I mean they pretty much run their lives
yeah,
like business operations, and like they one thing Lily Pichu said that really kind of made sense is that like she has an assistant to
mhm.
kind of help take care of the business. That way she can focus on the content creation. Just a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think that, especially okay with streamers, it's really hard to understand that they're running a business. You would think that they just wake up and they just start streaming, but there's like so much on the background that they kind of shed the light on too. It's just as easy as it seems, there's a lot more work and dedication that's required. Even though she said that her assistant is her brother. Um,
I mean, like it's like her mom, like her accountant or something
yeah,
like
her
that too.
accountant. Um, but yeah,
I
a
thought it
lot of
was
great
funny.
points. I mean, I don't see myself ever doing any of that anytime soon, but it's just like it's really like interesting information to know that like these people that we see uh as like more like celebrities and as more like
Like social media
influencers.
presences, yeah.
It's not like they just having a simple easy life. They actually have a lot of going
There's
on
a
in
lot of
their
behind the
backgrounds too.
scenes.
Yeah, definitely. So that was really enlightening to go to that panel.
And then
So
the last one we went to was the positivity on social media with
yeah,
Acris. I think that's her name, Acris Cosplay. She was dressed
yeah.
up like Todoroki. And then there was Kyatorin, and then who was
Well, it was
the
Ilitherian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I keep thinking of the stock, like the
I
crypto
I
stock.
I have your name written down right here just so I can remember it. It's just if you're listening, like no bashing on your name. I know you said it was like Elvis or something like that. It's,
Yeah,
it doesn't roll off the tongue
I
well.
can't enunciate it. But even when I interviewed her, I couldn't enunciate it. I was like, "How do you say it?" I was like, "I can't say it. It's not rolling off the tongue. I can't say it." But yeah, the three of them had a really interesting panel.
I was
I
great.
we walked in there like a couple minutes late.
And
But
we were like
overall,
we missed
it
about
was
like the
really
first
like,
half.
yeah, like it was really good though. Like the information they talk about, like
Mhm.
especially when it comes to these younger folks that are on social media, right? Because like they're growing up with the internet. I don't want to say they don't have thick skin, but you know, because because their presence is more online than than what we had growing up. You know, they handled their situations different from what we did. You know, I'm for me, I'm able to like ignore a lot of the hate comments, and it doesn't bother me as much. But
Mhm.
I know that there's a lot of younger kids who read these comments, who read hate speech and read like, you know, just very rude or demeaning messages, and it gets to them. Like I have little cousins that are like in their early teens, and you know they get discouraged seeing one bad comment on their TikTok video, and they delete their TikTok. You know, I sound like an old head when I'm like, you know, when I say like, well, why are you letting that get to you? You know, like it's a whole different world when it comes to these young kids who are growing up on the internet. But they brought a great point about like just being able to, you know, simply deleting, blocking, using the phrases on Instagram or TikTok to like
So to
block
like
those
it's like
words.
auto block, yeah,
Yeah,
comments on TikTok and on Instagram. And it's interesting though if you look at like the dichotomy of like how we use the internet and the culture and what the internet was when we were using it versus back how kids nowadays are using it. Back then, it wasn't. It was just a small part of our lives. We weren't like we spent like maybe like 10, 15, 20% of our days on the internet. But now everything
MySpace in
is
Asian Town.
it's
Oh
all through
my
social
god.
media. It's the metaverse.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no. So it's like some of these kids are just spending so much of their time on the internet that they don't really know how to break away, and that what happens on the internet eventually
Stays on here.
it affects their actual lives because
Yeah.
that's where they feel is necessary. So yeah, they talked a lot about like um you know uh kind of like learning how to deal with certain naysayers or people trying to slander you on Twitter, which I still don't believe Twitter is a real place. um uh
Twitter, TikTok, just
yeah,
social media, and
TikTok.
Instagram. Like just pretty much all the mainstream social media links. And they brought up really great points to just, you know, to kind of like nullify the background noise. And excuse me, they even mentioned like taking breaks off social media and to just like really focus on their physical care so that
Mhm.
it'll improve their mental health care. Um yeah, but like this would I didn't think this panel, like I didn't think that they would like this panel I would hear like things that would help me or affect me.
Right,
You know,
yeah, same.
just like simply podcasting like this, you know, I don't care what people have to say about me, and I've said some things on this podcast that, you know, that'll probably bite me in my ass later on. But you know, it's a learning lesson, man. Like we don't really consider or put into thought that, you know, the things we do on the internet is like it's like digital paper trails,
Yeah.
you know. And people, the kids who grow up on the internet, like this is like this is the world to them. Like this is how they're interacting. Like
Yeah, they're so vulnerable to like
yeah.
to their presence on the internet. Um and some of the points that some of them made is just uh like about like how do you deal with like jealousy too. And I really like Ilitherian's response. I think it was hers,
Oh
but she was
yeah,
like,
yeah. That was like one of the
how do you
last.
yeah, it's like how do you deal with when you see someone's work and you're jealous of them? Like how do you deal with those negative emotions? And she just says like just compliment them. And then I'm saying all this because like if there are other if anyone who's listening to this and wants to get into content creation, these are some of the things that I would want you guys to know about. And that's just you have to again, the theme of it was just staying positive on social media because it's a very mean place. But yeah, complimenting them and just like not being afraid of your first bits of content being bad because even the huge people that are big today, they had to start somewhere too.
Yeah, they brought up like the whole like there was always someone's first cosplay.
Yeah,
Photo.
and
Yeah,
so it's
I thought that was
cringe.
that was a great point to bring up. Like everyone starts with their first cosplay, and you look back at that, and then you compare it to how hard they've grown. And they kind of mentioned like don't be afraid to ask for tips or like and don't be afraid to give out help to like up and coming artists and stuff like that, just to keep like a positive flow going on social media. But yeah, man, like that's pretty much the
That was a
panels we
great
went
panel.
to. I know there was a lot of other ones that we probably missed out on, but we spent most of the time just like making rounds around Artist Alley and all the vendors.
Yeah.
I bought, did you see here the Sakaza one right here, my
Yeah.
Reckless Arts. It's a little canvas, black and white Akaza panel. I bought that. I didn't want to buy too much prints. I was so mad. Like I really do want to like support artists and stuff like that and buy prints, but I just have nowhere to put it. I recently moved here to Texas, so I don't want to have too much stuff to carry. As you can see, I already have like soundproof panels all behind me, and then like all the ones on the floor, like right here, they're all stacked right here. So I have so much shit already, and I don't want to add any more.
Just keep watching. He says that now, but just keep watching every episode, and you're eventually gonna see that whole wall filled up with a bunch of poster by poster, a bunch of
Dude, I want
prints.
I want to put like the Tommy Wiseau and the what's his name, Greg Sestero photo I have. I want to like put it like on this wall right here, and then I was thinking about putting like a Chili Beans poster or like print out a Chili Beans poster and put it like right here.
I'm marking your words. So I'm gonna on the next few episodes. In the future coming episodes, I hope to see them.
When I get paid, I'll start doing that. So I don't know how much it'll cost though to print out a Chili Beans poster because they don't have merch here in the States. And the Chili Beans, if you guys ever watch this, please be on the podcast. I want to interview you guys. Please,
We love y'all
Lily,
so much.
Micah, and Moto, please be on the podcast. I want to talk to you guys, even though I don't understand Japanese. Please
We'll
let
work
this
it out.
happen. I would, dude. Just on this slight tangent of Chili Beans, man. Like this band has been like my favorite band for the past year. Like I listen to their music like crazy. Even their old music videos. I have both of their EPs now. Some their single. Why can't they just tour here in the States? Like
Fingers crossed one day, hopefully, man.
Like,
But I mean,
honestly,
hey,
I like their music more than the Peggies, and I talk about the Peggies a lot on earlier episodes. Like Chili Beans is like where I'm at right now. I am full like Chili Beans stan at this point.
yeah, I mean their EP just dropped. What's the name of it?
It was like something Dreams. I have it on my
It-
phone. I had it
anyways,
pre-ordered before like it actually released. Hold on, let me look it up so I can give them the proper title here. So if fans want to check out Chili Beans, Daydream, the Daydream EP.
but they have there's a track called Tremolo. Like if you like,
Yeah, that's the latest video that they have on their YouTube channel.
if you kind of like funky poppy
Funk
rock,
pop, yeah.
It's such a treat for your ears. It really is. Just the way they wrote the way they composed the song with all the different elements. It's a really feel good song. So Chili Beans, Tremolo,
Micah
a
dropping bars.
yo, that's she kills that, man. It just flows so well. It's just like you would think like, okay, if you drop a rap in a Japanese pop song, it might sound cringy or weird, but like she kills it, man. She kills it.
Man, I love this band. Chili
Well,
Beans is my favorite.
we both do. You more than me, but I would still say that, like, give it a listen if that's your jam. They're up and coming. They're great. It feels weird that we're plugging them here, but, like,
Just plug them
it's
now
it's good
plug
music.
them now, because I've reached out to them via email, but I'm pretty sure it probably went to their spam, or they don't read English, one or the other, or they probably don't have, like, translators with them to do this kind of thing. But like I've said, if there's anyone out there who can try to help me with getting Chili Beans on the podcast, even if it's for 10 minutes, man, just give me 10 minutes, or fuck 5. I'll come up with like 5 quick questions and probably geek out the entire time and not say anything, because I'll be in awe that their presence is online with me. I would be like, oh my god, I don't know what to say. Oh man. But aside from this tangent of Chili Beans, I guess since on the topic of music, we did go to the after party for like a good 15 minutes or so.
Here's where we're gonna what's the word, diverge in agreement.
Okay, well, I always say this: we got there because with press passes, we got to go in for free. And the guy that was, I don't know his name, but the guy that was like separating the lines, he let us be in the VIP line.
Yeah.
And the drink line was pretty long, but
it's just like one person per bar, so yeah, it was going really slow.
The music didn't suck, but I think I was just so exhausted by that time, like mentally drained from like doing everything and running around. So by the time we got to the after party, I was just like, what am I doing here?
I mean, you did have a bit of a second win. So just to let you guys know, we got there at about like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we stayed there from 10 o'clock in the morning to about like 7:30. Then we came, and we were with the notion, it was me, Ricky, and Philip, and we were meeting up with another friend of mine, Brish, and we got food, came back to our place. We're deciding if we wanted to go back out or not, and we're just, it's on Ricky, and he's like, I don't really feel like it. And then he ate, and he felt a little better, had a second wind. We went, and then yeah, I mean,
gone.
I guess it catches up to you. So
it's been a while, dude. Like usually, like for folks who don't know, I put a lot of energy into like conventions. I get up early, I prep early. There's even been times where I don't eat all day during conventions because I'm so focused on my tasks that I have set out for myself. So when I do stuff like this, I don't feel the crash until like towards the evening, or like towards after the event's done, and then my brain shuts off at this point. Because like for the folks who don't see me or know me in person, I'm not as outgoing as I am on this, like how I am on this podcast, or like around people in general. It's like work mode for me. Like if I know that I had to do something, I'll switch. And it's like,
oh yeah, no, you should see him when he's interviewing. I mean, you'll see him when you post the videos of him interviewing. He focuses all of his energy into those brief moments.
I'm gathering chakra from like the like we were Fatal Fury is on Crunchyroll, right? And so that the technique that Terry does, that he has to concentrate and draw all the energy from Mother Earth and shit. That's exactly what I'm doing when I'm interviewing
like a whole like spirit bomb-esque.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, like from what you see on like the podcast and stuff, I'm not saying I'm like introverted, but it takes a lot out of me when it comes to like these conventions, or like to do even podcasts at times, where like I have so much energy when I'm doing this because I enjoy it, but then the times that I'm not doing this, I'm really reserved. I'm just recharging up until I do the next one.
I mean, I'll say it again. Like I I was with you like 90% of the time, and here I am trying to. I had to remind myself that I'm here as your cameraman. Because I'm like over here like walking through Artist Alley, like looking at the art, and where I'm doing that and taking in the experience, Ricky's like, okay, I need to go do this, I need to around this time I need to talk to this person, let's go to there, this person said that we can meet at this time, and he's just constantly in work mode. So I don't blame you at all for being burnt out. towards the end of the night
Yeah.
at the after party. So.
But yeah, we saw what's his name, Jovian. He was
Yeah, Jovian. He
he
was
was playing. He
mhm.
was playing some music. He was good. The music's good. It's just
Yeah.
I was just exhausted. I think I'm too old. Honestly,
No, shut up. Stop.
like I don't know, man. Like I don't mind going to like parties or like clubs and shit like that. But I think I've done it so much in my early 20s to mid 20s that I'm just burnt out by it. Because
If
like
Bobby can do it at what there he's 30
in his mid 30s, almost mid
36 right
30s.
now, I think. Sorry to put your age out here, Bobby. But I mean, if he can do it, yeah, you can do it, man. This was your first like EDM-esque type show. You were also really burnt out. I know we're gonna go to another one, so you can tell you can get a full experience of that and see how you like it.
Yeah, well,
Might not be for you, who knows, but you'll have fun though.
I was hoping they'd play more anime music though. Maybe if they play like the My Dress Up Darling opening or something, I probably would have enjoyed it more.
Okay, I think if you went earlier, because the opener, who was the opener? The opener was
I don't know who. I know they played some K-pop. They were playing Big Bang.
oh yeah, they were playing K-pop and probably some anime music. Bear Toki. I know that their music is kind of more around like K-pop and anime music. So Jovian, he does more kind of like typical music that you'd hear if you were going
like house music
out, like house and some a little like hip hoppy house and EDM. So I've heard some of his stuff on because he streams on Twitch, and I knew he was gonna play some good music, so I really wanted to see him.
But after that, we came back home and watched My Dress Up Darling.
Well, yeah. Well, we actually left because well, number one, they stopped. So
they didn't sell tickets anymore. So our Philip couldn't get a ticket. They stopped selling.
Yeah.
So we had to leave.
But even at that, he didn't have his ID. So
oh yeah, that's right,
Philip, man, Philip. Because we were trying to go to another bar afterward, and then Philip's like, "Oh, I don't have my ID." I'm like, "Are you gonna go get it?" And he's like, "I don't have it." I'm like,
"Oh, damn it, we just go back home." And then we just watched my Dress Up Darling. Oh my god. I can't wait to do an episode of when the season's done. We can talk about like the entire season in one.
Okay, it was episode 10, right?
Episode 11.
Episode 11. So just
Love Hotel.
for future reference, if you're watching this in the future, you don't know what episode we're talking about. Episode 11. Good lord, that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my god, dude! When we talk about this on a future episode. Oh my god, I can't. I can't with this anime, dude. Like whatever they're doing right. It's just like my god, man. Like I still can't get over like what we saw on that on that episode, man. Like,
it just makes you want to punch reality in its face, because it's just like I don't want reality. I want that type of thing.
To fall in love with a cosplayer.
Dude, modern is waifu. Like, oh my god.
Oh,
It's not fair.
There's still other potential waifus later on this year when the other shows come out, because I think right now Marin's probably in the lead, but I think a lot of the Demon Slayer fans probably are going to go crazy to when Mitsuri is on the screen. So
I'm eager to see that. Yeah.
But as of right now, I have Marin as my favorite waifu type character on based on the shows we've been watching. But yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it from the whole Nishi Fest. There was a lot to do in one day, man. Like like we got to work in the morning. I still can't believe like we spent that whole Saturday at Nishi Fest, and like it feels like we went to like a 3-day convention. It was just like one day.
Yeah, no, we were like, I still can't believe that I was able to be on my feet that long, because usually like if I'm working, when I used to work at the airport, my legs would be killing me, but I was so thrilled at everything that there was to consume there, that I it was all day, but it went by fairly quick though, for me at least.
No, it was like, it's weird. Like I was saying, dude, like it was like Comic-Con, like hyper focused, it's just like you're in the veil, like in Jujutsu Kaisen. Like you're just
Mhm.
you don't really think of how fast time is passing, and then by the time you're done, you're just burnt out and exhausted. But I hope that Nishi Fest does come in the fall later this year. We're trying to go to Acon in June. We applied for I just applied for passes earlier today. So I I'm hoping that they'll consider spoiler force, but if they don't, it's not a big deal. I just want to go see Ann Yatko in person. That's all. Like if I don't have money to meet everyone, I'm just gonna support Ann Yatko. Like, hey, we finally meet in person. Like she is the one I want to meet in person at Acon. So hopefully nothing bad happens. I'm knock on wood that that she's healthy and that when she does come to Acon, I do want to meet her in person. It'll be really cool to see someone that's been on the podcast before, and just to build a more professional relationship with this person, because we got to support other Asian artists out there too.
And it helps that we just really love the energy that she brings to her roles and into
Dude,
both gaming
as
and the anime
Raiden and
community.
as yeah, dude, I tagged her on I tagged her on Instagram, man. Like when we saw the Raiden and Yae Miko
Mhm.
on the big screen, and then when I pulled Raiden on my 50/50, like it's like yes, thank the gods. And Yatko like said something about getting Raiden, and I pulled her.
I just still think it's funny that like in retrospect, in your interview with her, you kind of like wished her good, you meant
Oh,
really
I
well.
was like,
You
I hope you
wished
get a
her
role
like,
in Genshin or something like
and
that.
then but at that time she already
Yeah, she
had
already
the
knew that
role
she was gonna be
secured,
Raiden. Yeah.
and
I know.
then I think
If she comes
she
back in the podcast, that's what I want to talk about too. Is like, why didn't you say anything? I know it's NDAs, but
you of course, yeah.
come on, man. Like, of course, it would be me to say like, I hope you get a role in Genshin, and she's already got the role right in, and she just
Oh
can't
my
say it.
god. But she did so fantastic on as Raiden, just carrying her just kind of like emitting the energy and kind of like carrying her personality so well.
Mm.
So thank you for doing such a great job, Ann Yatko, on a character on a game that I've probably spent the most time playing for the past year, and for a character that I really connect with and really love in the the Genshin lore. So.
Mhm. I think that's pretty much it. Michael, you have any last minute thoughts? Just any last minute Nishi Fest thoughts, or
Oh man, it was great. You're right. I'm probably just still in that high, and I'm gonna
dude,
go through the
tomorrow
just.
when we come back home from work, we're gonna feel like you're gonna have like a slight depression because of the Comic Con blues.
I get that way with festivals though. So when
Yeah,
I go to like a music festival, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something along the lines of that.
yeah.
But man, seeing all the cosplays, meeting all the guests, seeing all the artists, and all even the cosplayers and just the people there, they all had positive energy. We didn't see any negativity there at
Yeah,
all.
it was
It was a great
overall
experience.
it's a great show, great experience. Just excuse me, like just great food. Over everything was just great. It was a
Yeah,
great and on a great day. It was a nice sunny day.
little
Nothing
warm.
crazy. A little bit warm. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did break a sweat, but like it wasn't like chaotic or like it wasn't like stressful. Like it was just good enough. And
and they also did a good job in like it sucks. So if you're listening to this and you weren't able to go, I do I do feel for you, but it was had they had done that, had they just had if they didn't cut off entry, it would have been packed. It's not that big of a venue,
well, they
but
didn't use the
because
whole
of
venue though. The other side of the venue was for
because there
Pokemon
was
or
another
Digimon
event going
tournament.
on for
Yeah,
a tournament, but because they did such a good job managing that, it helped secure the experience that we had, and I'm very grateful for that because it wasn't overcrowded, and
Mhm.
had it had been, it might have, I don't want to say ruined it would have dampened the experience. So
It would have been more hard, like difficult
yeah.
to navigate through the buildings and in and out and stuff like that. So I applaud Dave and the Nishi Fest crew for even considering just the amount of people or the capacity of the people there. I think that was very thoughtful and considerate that they did that. So
Yeah.
shout out to those guys. Shout out to all the volunteers, the workers there, everyone who's done fantastic jobs. Again, to all the guests, especially to all the ones I interviewed. Um, I'm hoping to try to get Rico on the podcast. If I can get Rico Fajardo on here. I know we spoke early, like when they came in, you know, and when I saw him come in, I was like, I kind of like geeked out. I was like, oh my god, that's Rico Fajardo. Like we were in line for Caitlin Glass. I was like, Michael, I'm waiting in line right here. He was at the next table over.
You were his first get. You were his
Yeah,
first. His first
the first person,
person.
like that met
Yeah.
that he got to meet, and they were like putting up their table, and I told them, take your time, I'm in no rush. And so, dude, he was probably one of the coolest voice actors I've met of all the guests I've met.
Yeah,
at
he
the
had so much
convention.
energy. I love his energy. Very welcoming, very loud, but very welcoming. It was great meeting him. So
Yeah, so I hope to have him on the podcast soon. Hopefully, I mean, I have a lot of hope for like all the people that I passed out cards to, but if they don't, it's fine. But definitely, I do want to try to get the cosplayers on, on the show. Uh, a lot of them are from like the Dallas Fort Worth area too, which is really like surprising to see like how big the anime community here in Texas. So like it's just a lot of potential networking that could be that can be done if done right. So
right.
but yeah, man, like I think that's pretty much it for Nishi Fest, man. There's nothing bad I can say about this festival, and I actually genuinely mean that. Like, usually there are conventions or some events that are like bad.
You run into like one or two things to gripe about, but yeah, no, I
Yeah,
had no
but
qualms with this
yeah,
one.
but this one turned out really good. I'm really excited for the next one. But yeah, man. And so if you made it this far to the episode, I can't believe we're almost 2 hours in. God damn. We're almost 2 hours in. But yeah, this is, if you made it this far, thank you for listening to us give I guess you could say a review of Nishi Fest as well. And just talking about our experience there. And thank you for listening to our review on Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, the movie. If you have not seen that yet, please go now before the theaters tick it off, because I know usually anime movies don't last long in theaters. So go watch it now if you can. Again, I'll have all the links, or I'll try to get all the links for all the cosplayers and all the vendors that we talked about on this episode in the show notes and descriptions on YouTube, so you guys can support them and show love to them. Again, to everyone that also all the people I interviewed on YouTube on the for the future YouTube videos, please, I would love to have all you guys as guests on the podcast. Hopefully one day, like it would be really cool if we could do like a whole like round table or like multiple, like they're all in one room. That would be like, that's a dream come true if that ever happens. But
That would be fun.
yeah,
But
yeah, dude.
I do want to say, like, if you want to see any of the cosplays, like again, even the non-guests, just the attendees,
Mhm.
their cosplays some of them were really amazing.
Yeah,
You should go
I didn't
over
even get. I could.
to
Dude, there's so many people. I
yeah,
got just a fraction of who came in costumes and stuff like that.
right. I mean, go check out the Spoiler Force Instagram. He uploaded some of the attendee cosplays there, and some of them are really good. So be sure to drop by, check that out, and drop them a follow if you haven't already. So
Yeah, that'll really help me out too, especially if we're applying for Acon passes or Acon press passes.
but hey, if you like what he's doing, all this, any support helps.
Yeah, just clicking the like, share, and subscribe really helps the content here. But yeah, man, I don't want to take up any more time, dude. Like we gotta eat. So
Yeah.
this is episode 113. Again, thank you to everyone who watched or listened on all podcasting platforms. Thank you, Michael, again for jumping on this episode. You'll see Michael more often in future episodes as well, because we are roommates. So you'll see Michael
And
more on this
I was
podcast.
actually just thinking we should actually start just like recording in the same room.
Right, we're in separate rooms. I know. Just, but yeah. So
We'll work on that.
yeah, you guys will see Michael's face more on Spoiler Force, and you'll see more of his future works, if he ever decides to release it. So
It's in the making. So
yeah. But yeah, and thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give a review and rate Spoiler Force Podcast. If you want to get all Spoiler Force updates or even peeks at behind the scenes, you can join the Spoiler Force Discord community. And if you'd like to show support, give tips, recommendations, sponsorships, or any collaborations, you can email me at rickyvang92@gmail.com.